What if I told you the average kids in the school, the ones who never won medals, the ones who never topped their class, and the ones who were never chosen as the head boy or the head girl, are the ones quietly building some of the most extraordinary lives? Sounds unlikely, right? Let me tell you about a girl named Meera. Meera wasn't the star student. She was not even in the spotlight and was never the teacher's favorite. Most of the days, Meera just blended in the background, doing okay, not enough for being noticed. As if being average wasn't enough, Meera was also brown skin. The whispered comments and the kind of teasing that would take away a girl's confidence. Little did she know that the things that she was made to feel small for, like her brown skin, her average marks, and the way she was overlooked in the classroom and in conversations about success, would one day become her power. Few years later, the same girl went on to win the crown. She became a published author. She was honored as the Speaker of the Year and is also a celebrated anchor. People often walked up to Meera and admired the way she showed up again and again, despite the storms she's weathered. And in those moments, she sees the girl she once was, the one that no one believed in. Meera did not become extraordinary despite being average. Meera became extraordinary because she was average. And I know that because I am Meera. So today I want to show you how being average is not a weakness. It's a superpower. It's a superpower that helps you build an extraordinary life in the world obsessed with ranking. So there's a huge problem today. The problem is the cult of ranking and the youth identity crisis. From the moment we enter the school, we are measured by marks, ranks, position, grades, and even likes, shares, followers, and views these days. There's a silent message that we internalize that if I'm not the best, I am not good enough. And this message is crushing our youth. This very message has an invisible pressure of being the best and has some very heartbreaking consequences. A study by Fortis Mental Health Foundation found that 65% of Indian students are facing high academic stress. According to National Crime Records Bureau, one student dies every hour by suicide in India due to the pressure to perform. And most of them said that this pressure came from constant evaluation, ranking, marks, and position. But here's the truth nobody tells us about. In real life, people don't ask you what is your 10th grade percentage or what is your 12th grade percentage. They see who you are, how you behave, and how quickly you bounce back. Yeah. Let me take you through a few examples. Amitabh Bachchan, we all know of Amitabh Bachchan, right? He was rejected by All India Radio saying that he had a heavy voice. And that voice today is considered as iconic. Ranveer Singh wasn't the coolest kid back in the school. But look at him today. How cool is he? When we talk about Sachin Tendulkar, our Indian batsman, he struggled with academics and even barely made it to college. But today, he's regarded as one of the greatest batsmen in the history of cricket, right? We talk about Baman Irani. Baman Irani is also a very celebrated Indian actor. He struggled in school with studies and confidence. He was even dyslexic. But what an amazing actor does he make, yeah? I'm a big fan of his. Are all everybody's favorite Oprah Winfrey. Her academic life was far from stellar, but she is one of the most influential women in the world today. She never topped the class, but she's topped the world. And I can just go on and on with such examples and talk about their journey from average to extraordinary. You know, there was one thing common between all these people. They never ranked number one when they started, but they were real, resilient, emotionally strong, and unapologetically themselves. Success did not come to them because they were the best at everything that they did. Success came to them because they did not give up in spite being told that you are just average. And that, my friends, is what real success is built on. So we spoke about the problem, the cult ranking, and the youth identity crisis. But what could be the solution here? I feel the solution here could be redefining average for the youth. And before we move on, let me pause and ask, what does even average mean? Does average mean being not talented? Average doesn't mean that you are not talented. Average just means that your journey doesn't fit somebody else's timeline and you are on a different timeline. But today, average is defined as not standing out. Being average in school, college, or even workplaces these days is regarded as a disease. So it's like you're either gifted or you're lost. You're either the best or you're a struggler. And that's not fair. How beautiful would it be if we redefined average as still in progress, still discovering, and still becoming? Being average, gives you a space. It gives you a room to grow, to try, to fail, to explore, to change paths, and without the crushing pressure of perfection. So instead of teaching our kids to race, what if we taught them self awareness, to know who they really are, emotional resilience, to keep going no matter how hard it gets, curiosity, to be excited even when you are unsure. And trust me, these are the things that school doesn't grade, but life does. Apart from this, there are also some essential real world skills that the youth need to learn or acquire more than a rank. Let me ask you, how many of you in this room know how to manage anxiety? Do you know how to handle rejection? Do you know how to handle failure without feeling like one? Yeah, most of us don't, and even our youngsters don't. And it's not their fault. Nobody taught them. I have seen a pattern with young people. They are not lacking in talent, they are lacking in belief. They're constantly comparing, constantly evaluating. And it's not their fault because they've been told that you are not good enough just because you are not a topper, or maybe you're not the best at what you're doing. They have never been told that you could still build an incredible life just by staying consistent, honest, and emotionally grounded. They never heard it's okay to take your time. It's okay to not know yet. It's okay to grow at your own pace. And while I'm doing this talk, I am not glorifying mediocrity. I am not. That's not my idea. But where is the value addition? My five cents where the value addition lies here is instead of producing more toppers, how beautiful would it be if we raise more emotionally resilient, strong, and emotionally intelligent human beings? It will not only just get them through exams, but also life. And this is a very liberating feeling because this will free our youth from the myth that ranking equals worth. So here's my definition of success. Success is not beating others, it is becoming yourself without fear, without filters. Be the person who doesn't know all the answers but keeps asking questions. Be the person who doesn't win all the time but keeps showing up. Be the person who isn't perfect but is perfectly in tune with themselves. Let the world chase trophies. You build your toolkit: self belief, discipline, grit, kindness, and vision. And to every person out here, be it young or old, who's ever felt that they are not good enough just because you didn't top your class, or just because you didn't win that trophy or the award, or just because you were not the best on the stage, or you were not the chosen one. Let me tell you something very powerful. You don't have to be number one, two, or three to matter. Being average is not something that you need to fix. Maybe that's your superpower because you are not falling behind, okay? You are not falling behind. You are building differently. And the world doesn't need perfect people. There are enough of perfect people in the world. The world needs more real ones, the trailblazers, the outliers, and the rule breakers, because they are the real goats, not the goats, greatest of all times. So go ahead, be average, be unstoppable, be extraordinary on your own terms. And when they ask you, how did you do it? Just smile and tell them, I wasn't the best at what I did, but I was brave enough to be myself and not give up. So, my dear friends, let me end on this note that average is the new extraordinary. Thank you so much.